Bonjour, good afternoon, and welcome to WASA Distance Education. My name is Greg Weaver, and this is ENG4E, Grade 12 Workplace English. I'd like to welcome everyone who's listening across the north today, at home, your learning center, or on Bell Express View. To call in and join our class, you can call 1-800-465-7144 or 737-4017 or 2983 in the Sioux Lookout, Lac Seul, or Dryden areas. I'd like to welcome everyone back to class tonight. This is our last class of the week. We do not have classes on Friday. And we will be starting again the classes next Monday. So with that in mind, there will be probably a little bit of work you have to complete before Monday. And we'll talk about that a bit more towards the end of class. Depends on how much we get through. So where we're going to pick up today is we're going to finish looking at lesson number 2. So lesson 2, we started looking at parts of speech and how they're used in sentences and paragraphs. So in this lesson, we looked at basic punctuation, commas, as well as we looked at double negatives, using 2 negative words in the same sentence. So what we're going to look at now is we're going to look at our last activity for our last activity for Unit 2. And with that, we are going to look at words that are often confused again. You have to try to identify them on your own this time. So what we have here, you have first start with a chart that you can find at the bottom of page 24. And it's a 3-column chart. The first part, it's asking just for the sentence number. Now, as you look at the sentence number, what you are going to consider is what sentence does that error word take place in? Where does it occur? The second part is our confused word, the word that is the mistaken word in that sentence. And then finally, you want to correct that word, so put the correct word in there. So we have 2 paragraphs that we are going to look at today. We're going to do the first one together as a class. And even though doing it as a class, you still need to do it on your own and hand it in. And we are also going to read a second one. You're going to do that one on your own. And we're going to take a bit of a break so you can work on that before we start with lesson 3. Now, lesson 3 is the beginning of our novel study. We'll talk about that, more about that in probably about 20 minutes so when we get there. So you want to copy out this chart. It's at the bottom of page 24. And then you want to find the confused word and correct it. So we're going to do part A as our example. And then look at passage B on your own. So it says find the confused word in each sentence from the passage below. There are 10 mistakes in each passage. So I'm going to read it through just as it reads first, and then we'll go back through it again and identify the errors before you fill in the chart. It is about the easiest way to do it. So we're going to start off by looking Passage A. So it says, did you know that until May 5th of every year, you're not really working for yourself? A group in Washington, D.C. has learned that it takes workers an average of 4 months and 5 days to earn enough to pay their taxes. The group found that in its study, that taxes eat up 34% of all income in the United States. So if workers used their entire income for taxes, they would not be through paying until May. Being that May 5th is the first day that people really work for themselves, the group has some advice. It would like a bill passed naming May 5th Tax Freedom Day. On that day, you will give yourself a break, irregardless of how hard you worked. From May 5th on, you'd finally be your own boss. So there's some errors in there, just with confused words. Now, the first thing you notice is while we have 10 errors in that paragraph, the grammar check in the computer program Microsoft Word only picks up 3. It's why I said earlier this week that spell check and grammar check are not perfect. So there's still, the grammar check missed 7 errors. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through and we're just going to highlight the incorrect words, and then we'll look at plugging them into the chart later on. So I'm going to zoom in a bit so it's easier to see. It says, do you know that until May 5th of every year, you're not really working for yourself? So this your is incorrect. So we're going to highlight that one right there, just like that. It goes on to say, a group in Washington, D.C. has learned that it takes workers an average of 4 months and 4 days to earn enough to pay their taxes. Now this there, it's the wrong there. The group found in its study, that's the wrong its, that taxes eat up 34% of all of the income in the United States. So, if workers used their entire income for taxes, they'd not be through paying them until May. Being that May 5th is the first day people really work for themselves, the group has some advice. It would like a bill passed naming May 5th Tax Freedom Day. On that day, you would give yourself a break, irregardless of how hard you worked. 4. From May on, you would finally be your own boss. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those are 10 mistakes. What I want to do is go back up to our chart here and fill in those words. So the sentence number is this little number there. So our first sentence, the confused word is your. And the correct way for that is your, but it's yours. It should be you are. So you can either put correct words either is your. Or write you, or you could write you are. The same thing. Your is just a contraction of you are. So our next sentence is sentence 2. And the wrong word there is the word there. And it's their taxes. It's your money, so you need THEIR instead of THERE. So our third sense is the group found in its study and that should be just that. IT apostrophe S is a contraction of it is. So group found it is study doesn't make sense. So it's ITS. That taxes eat up 34% of all of the income in the United States. So if workers used their entire income for taxes, and once again, it's their THEIR because it's their money. It's your possessions. So it's THEIR. Use their money for taxes to not be through paying them until May. So now we notice here is my sentence number is still 4 because there's 2 errors in that sentence. So while law students say never 1 to 10, that's incorrect. You have only put the sentence number that they occur. This one only has 8 sentences. So you put 9 and 10, it's instantly wrong because there's no 9 and 10 sentences. So when here we have the word through, not through paying. So the correct word is another form of through. The one that there was through is I threw the ball to someone. Other one would be THROUGH, through. As you're through with this person, you're through paying with them until May. So being that May 5th is the first appeal where you work themselves, the group has some advice. This is sentence 5. And they have some advice. The word there is advise, not advice. So that's one of those homonyms that sounds similar but means something different. So advice. So our 6th one says, it would like a bill passed naming May 5th Tax Freedom Day. So passed is past tense. You want passed, you're going to pass as they passed the ball to you, which is PASSED. Passed that way. The ball. So a bill passed naming May 5th Tax Freedom Day. On that day, you give a break. That's break ice and your brakes on your car. Not break if you're going on a coffee break or a lunch break. Still in paragraph sentence 7. Irregardless is not a word. It's used as a word often, but it's actually not a word. A word would just be regardless. Because irregardless is just like a double negative. So just be regardless of how hard you worked. And our last one, sentence 8, they have while you apostrophe RE. And it's be while you are. It's be while you are your own boss. So that's an example of how you do this question. So what you're going to do now, I'm going to read through the second passage, but I'm not going to highlight the words. What I want you to do is to try passage B on your own. And then we'll take a bit of a break after I read through it. And then if we come back, any questions you can ask them. I'll try and answer them. If you're listening to this class on YouTube or the archives, you can give it a try. You can pause the recording, give it a try. And then if you have questions, give me a call right away if you're listening on the archives or on YouTube. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you out. So passage B says, do you ever dream about writing your life story? Do you think that your life is too dull or you can't? Anyone's life story is filled with fascinating events, and writing them down the best way you can, you know, best way you know, can give you a sense of accomplishment and perhaps leave a valuable inheritance to your family. The first thing to do is to buy a loose leaf notebook. Each page of the book should be titled with a significant milestone from your life. From your first dog to your proudest moment. You then jot them down, a few key words in the book, wherever memory comes back to you. The idea is not to begin with "I was born" and try to write a chronological history of your whole life. Just delve into your past at random. One memory will trigger another. It becomes quite easy after a while. It's also important to write in your own language. Plain, honest writing is the goal. So there's 11 sentences in this one. So give it a so take let's say we'll take about 8 minutes. So I know you have to reread it again, find the incorrect words, and then fill in the chart. So we'll take about 8 minutes or so. I'll come back about 5:30, 5:31, and we will move on to lesson 3. So take 8 minutes, and we'll come back after that. Talk to you then.
This is the power since time began. Every single hour that we have known. And from this moment, all that is left, sleep on the innocence, just one desire. Shine like it does into every heart. Shine like it does in your love. But you will find it. This is the story since time began. There will come a day when we will know. Shine like it does into every heart. Shine like it does in your looking. You will find it. Shine like it does into every heart. Shine like it does. And if you're looking, you will find it. You will find it. You will find it. You will find it. You will find it.
One, two, one, two.
Come on, baby. Wow, wow, wow.
And we are back. Hope everyone had a chance to get started with that second part of key question 7. If you do have any questions or you're not sure if you did it right, you can always give me a call, send me a text, or send me a Facebook message. I can be reached on my cell phone all the time. It's always on me. And you can also text to that number as well. Or if you do have an iPhone or an iPod, you can send me an iMessage to that number as well. Just because you have an iPhone, you can send an iMessage. Additionally, you can reach me via Facebook, or you can reach me here in the office when I'm in. I'm in all morning, and then back in at 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern. And you can reach me at that number, at my office number, 1-800-667-3703. And my extension is 2221. If you call after about 4:30, no one's there. So you have to get the on-air reception, which is 2221. So what we're going to do now, if no one has any questions, we are going to move on to key question, to lesson number 3. Now, lesson 3 is a complete change. We are going to start looking at our novel study. So what we're going to do is we are going to start working through that. Now, we won't get all the way through it. We're going to try and get through some of the pre-reading activities, things you should do before you start reading the novel. And so you can find those in lesson 3. So we'll go there right now. We'll start with that one. You can, starting off looking at page 27. So this is our novel Night Wanderer. So first, starting off with this little introduction, give you a bit of background on it. We're starting off looking at the author. If you look at page 27, you see a photo of the author of this novel. His name is Drew Hayden Taylor. He is an Ojibwe from Curve Lake First Nations, which is about an hour and a half or so east of Toronto. He's written a lot of First Nations, a lot of plays, poems, and novels around First Nations and addressing First Nations issues and concerns. He's mostly known for his humor writing. He writes a lot of funny, satire, tongue-in-cheek kind of work that really helped to point out some of the differences and what makes First Nations people unique in Canada. He has a couple of short story anthologies out. One that I'm currently reading right now is called Fearless Warriors. He has a couple of plays. Ones I've used before in the other classes is called The Bootlegger Blues. And its follow-on sequel is called The Baby Blues. And it is a play built with First Nations characters. He's written a couple other plays as well. And the thing with him, what makes him really unique and really interesting, is that he sets almost all of his writing in and around his home community. So he changes the name. Like, for example, in our novel, the community is called Otter Lake. But it's very similar to his home community, which is Curve Lake. So what I want to do, first I want to show you where he's from before we read his biography, before we jump further in. So I'm just going to go to Google Maps. I'm going to show you a bit of where he's from and what's near to us. So go to maps.google.com. So this is over here. That's where we are at 60 King. So we're going to look for Curve Lake, Ontario. So we're looking way down here. So we have Toronto here and everything in around it. And to the east of Toronto, you'll see a city called Peterborough and Kawartha Lakes. And farther east, you have Belleville, Napanee, Kingston, and Ottawa. So if we zoom in a bit more, if we go a bit north of Peterborough, we'll find Curve Lake. So Curve Lake's right there, so it's just north of Peterborough. Another towns around it, you have Buckhorn there and Bob Cajun. So if we look at our novel, the our main character is from Otter Lake, which is based on Curve Lake, and the her boyfriend, who's non-native, is from Bay Meadow. Which is similar to Bob Cajun right here. So that's roughly where it is, first off. So that's where it is in Southern Ontario, and we are way... So we're looking for the lower thing. We are right here. Right around here would be us. Yeah, so we're right here. So that's a fairly far ways to go. So that's where he's from. So let's read his biography, and then we'll look a bit more. It says, Drew Hayden Taylor was born on July 1st, 1962, in Curve Lake, near Peterborough. He has written, directed, or worked on 17 film and video documentaries about Native issues. As one of Canada's first Native script writers, he has story-edited numerous writing workshops for visible minority writers. His leading passion for many years has been the theater world, thanks to a stint as playwright in residence for Native Earth Performing Arts in the late 1980s. From 1994 to 1997, he proudly served as Native Earth's artistic director. In the last 15 years, over 60 professional productions of his plays have been staged, including Toronto at Dreamers Rock and Education Is Our Right, which are two really short plays that are normally studied together. The Bootlegger Blues, and its sequels, The Baby Blues, which won first prize at the University of Alaska Anchorage Native Playwriting Contest, and The Buzzgum Blues. He has also been dabbling in the world of prose, writing short stories of various anthologies, and a satirical column. A collection of his best pieces was published in a book titled Funny, You Don't Look Like One, Observations of a Blue-Eyed Ojibwe, and its 3 successful sequels. He also co-edited an anthology titled Voices Being Native in Canada. The last few years have seen him proudly serve as writer-in-residence at the University of Michigan, the University of Western Ontario, and the University of Lunenburg in Germany, as well as a host of Canadian theatre companies, including the Cahoots Theatre, Blythe Theatre, etc. More recently, Drew has been directing documentaries, including most notably Redskins, Trickers, and Puppy Stew, produced by the National Film Board. The Night Wanderer was inspired by this documentary. Drew was always interested in being a writer, although he didn't consider himself one until his mid-20s. Finding mentors was difficult because there were few native writers around at the time. His advice for aspiring authors is to read anything and everything. The more you can read, the better your writer you'll be. His own inspiration comes from anyone with a story to tell. He lives on his reserve in Curve Lake, Ontario, near where he grew up. So that's about our author. Gives you a bit of background about what he knows, where he's coming from when he writes this novel. In terms of the novel itself, this is a really quick plot summary. So nothing ever happens on the Otter Lake Reservation. But when 16-year-old Tiffany Hunter discovers her father's renting out her room, she's deeply upset. Sure, the guest is polite and keeps to himself, but he's also a little creepy. Little do Tiffany and her father, even her astute Granny Ruth, suspect the truth. The mysterious Pierre L'Errant is actually a vampire, returning to his travel home after centuries of spent in Europe. But Tiffany has other things on her mind. Her new boyfriend is acting weird, disputes with her father escalating, and her estranged mother is starting a new life with somebody else. Fed up and heartsick, Tiffany threatens drastic measures and flees into the bush. There in the midnight woods, a chilling encounter with L'Errant changes everything for both of them. The Night Wanderer, a native Gothic novel, is Julian Taylor's first novel for teenage readers. It includes several different themes. Remember, the theme is a main idea, the main focus of the novel, including interracial dating, language, and the importance of retaining language, trust, secrets, and lies, wendigos and vampires, suicide awareness, and controlling your emotions. So it's a fairly short novel, but it deals with a lot of really interesting and engaging issues. So what we're going to do to start off is look at a couple of the novel activities. And so the one that's going to keep going throughout the entire novel, all the way to Lesson 9 in Unit 2, is a double entry journal. So I want to take my time explaining this. This is probably what I end for tonight. A double entry journal is a journal entry where you write down interesting quotes about the character and then predict, explain, and analyze what the quote is about. In order to create a double entry journal, you divide your page into two with a vertical line down the center. On the left side of your page, I just lost my spot. You copy on short quotes for the original text that you find interesting. Be sure to record the page numbers of the quotes. On the right-hand column, you will write your personal responses to the quotes on the left. With double entry journals, you choose what's important to you about the reading and ask your own questions. Writing in a double entry journal will help you understand and remember not only what you read, but the new vocabulary you encounter as well. For the novel, you will complete double entry journals on one of the three main characters. You'll do it on Tiffany Hunter, who's the main character in the novel. Below is a template for a blank double entry journal and two complete examples. You're going to need to copy this template, which is here at the bottom of page 29, into your notes to use. So here's a sample for Tiffany. So our quote that we have is Tiffany wanted to make damn sure Tony Banks was never going to find anything slightly negative about her. Tony was Tiffany's boyfriend. That was such a nice ring to her. Even better, she was Tony's girlfriend. Either way, she was happy. That's on page 7. So that's our quote. That's right from the novel. No analysis, no interpretation. That's just the quote. On the right-hand side is where you look at some look at what the quote means. What do you think it means? Why would that be so important within the context of novel and context of reading this? Remember the themes that were listed at the very beginning of this lesson. So it says this quote is important because it shows to have my boyfriend is so important to Tiffany that she will hide parts of her life from him. It also shows that she can't be herself around him. Maybe that she's insecure about her relationship with him. That's not from the novel. That's what I may think. But because this is your entry, you're analyzing or thinking about the quote, you can put that in. You don't need to be sure about it. You can just say, I think this could be this. This is this. This could be this. I'm not sure. That's completely fine. But you want to do this for every chunk of the novel that we read. You're going to want to do something like this. Now, and there's assignments for that. At the end of this lesson, lesson 3, lesson 6, lesson 7, lesson 8, and lesson 9. And another entry here for Pierre Laird, who's our antagonist, or the person she's fighting against. So the quote is, something about her seatmate disturbed her mood. The man in the aisle seemed dark. That was the word for it. It's like there's this ominous storm inside him. Well, this quote shows that Pierre creeps people out. It's important because it describes him as a dark and troubled person. I think the word disturbed is important because it shows something is not right about him. So here's a pre-reading. This is things I want that we're going to look at now, and I'd like you to try and get done this weekend if you can. If not, we'll come back to it again on Monday. But answer the following questions before you begin reading the novel. Answer in full sentences and paragraph I'm sure you fully answer the question. So first one, have you ever met somebody who just made you feel creeped out or uncomfortable? What was it about them that was creepy? Now, if you've never met anyone like that, what do you think some characteristics of a creepy person would be? Number 2, is there other characteristics that make some people creepier than others? What are they? Number 3 is, why might people only have friends from their own race? And number 4 is, how would your relationship with your partner or spouse be different if your parents did not like them? So think of those 4 questions. If you have a chance, answer those over the weekend. If we'll come back to them again on Monday before we start reading the novel. These are our pre-reading activities. I'd like you to do before we start reading. So we will end there. Everyone has a good weekend. And we'll pick up lesson 3 next week. And we will go from there. If you have any questions, I'll be in the office tomorrow from 8:30 until 2:30. And that's Central Time, 9:30, 3:30 Eastern. And then I will be available all weekend. I'm not planning on going anywhere this weekend, so I'll be available for help if you do need it. I'll be on my couch watching the NHL playoffs. Other than that, hope everyone has a good weekend. I'll talk to everyone again on Monday. Till then, miigwech, and have a good night.